So what has the kid been up to? Even though I haven't been giving classroom presentations and doing media interviews for the last 10 years, I've still been helping animals. Me and my wife Erica helped around 500 caterpillars become butterflies after finding out that 90% get eaten by birds and insects. So we would go outside and find them before the birds and the insects did, put them in a safe enclosure, feed them parsley, fennel, dill, and milkweed, and then release them after they hatch from their cocoons. I also saved around 150 skunks from being viciously killed by some maniac who was catching them in cages and drowning them in his backyard because he didn't want them living in his city. Problem was, it was my city too. So I went to his house and confronted him and told him if he ever did that shit again, I'd do the same thing to him. He backed down and said he would stop killing them as long as I agreed to relocate them after he caught them. I could not convince him to stop catching them, but I was happy to give those skunks a brand new home in some nearby wooded areas. Skunks, by the way, get a really bad rap. They are some of the sweetest creatures I have ever met. They only release those stink bombs when they feel threatened, which my dogs Doyle and Rex found out about the hard way. I also recently became the official ambassador to Michigan's oldest and largest animal sanctuary, Sasha Farm, sanctuary and safe haven for animals. I do not receive any compensation from them whatsoever, quite the opposite. I've been volunteering there for around 30 years. Unfortunately, in 2021, one of the founders, Dorothy Davies, the matriarch of that place, she passed away, and they've been struggling ever since. Fortunately, a few longtime volunteers are now trying to save it. Now, back in 1996, when I first became vegan, I took part in every form of activism. I wanted to know firsthand which ones were the most effective. Without a doubt, education, teaching others about ethical veganism and other animal rights issues, this was in a league of its own, the best form of activism by far. The next best, helping Sasha Farm rescue as many animals as possible, supporting Sasha Farm with money and several hours of hard work each week. They gave animals their first taste of freedom. If animals are lucky enough to escape the hell holes that we've created, and they end up at Sasha Farm, or Freedom Farm in Israel, Sanctuary Lagerie in France, Ein Bisschen Verme and Die Community in Germany, or the hundreds of other ones around this planet, as vegans, it is our obligation to make sure they live the rest of their lives in peace. But something strange started happening around 20 years ago, and it's been gaining traction ever since. A few animal rights people started convincing others that funding sanctuaries was a waste of money. Cost too much to care for the animals. There are better ways to spend donation dollars. That position confused me back then, and it breaks my heart today. Just because education is the best form of activism doesn't mean funding sanctuaries isn't essential. They go hand in hand. It doesn't have to be one or the other. If we convince people to stop harming animals, some animals are going to need a place to stay. Plus, many sanctuaries are now bringing people there to give presentations, allowing them to interact with these animals for the first time ever. Even if they aren't, even if they don't engage in education-based activism, there's no need to view them through the eyes of a corporation. That corporate mindset of always having to get the best return on your investment. Sometimes charity is just charity, helping out the less fortunate. And who is less fortunate than the cows and pigs and chickens and turkeys, goats and sheep and other animals who have been commodified by our society and turned into sandwiches and shoes? If our cups runneth over, we need to share that abundance. So, after giving 2,700 lectures over the years, and with the help of YouTube, convincing hundreds of thousands of people around the planet to embrace the vegan lifestyle, many people followed my lead. I put out a formula for education-based activism. Continue to follow my lead on this issue. Sanctuaries are essential. This is the only place where animals can finally be free, be themselves, exhibit natural behaviors. It's where they become somebody instead of being somebody else's property. It's where they're given a name instead of being branded or tagged. So donate money to Sasha Farm, sashafarm.org, and donate to the other animal sanctuaries as well. And donate a few hours as well, and tell everybody you know to do the same. Because if a few thousand lucky animals wind up at these places, they deserve everything, no matter what it costs. It's the least we can do for them, considering the vicious things we've been doing to them for thousands of years.